felt like something was missing, even when you had everything you thought you wanted. This village found itself in the same predicament, and their journey to rediscover joy is a story you don't want to miss. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll tell you the story of laughter, a lesson on gratitude and joy. When did we stop laughing? The village elder murmured as she looked over to the quiet valley. Nestled between the green hills and a sparkling river, the village of Elowen had once been known for its joy. Its people sang while they worked, children played in the streets until sunset, and laughter echoed from homes, markets, and fields. But now something had changed. The laughter had faded, not suddenly, but gradually, like sunlight slipping behind clouds. Faces had grown serious, eyes distant. Even the wind seemed to blow a little colder through the cobbled streets. It wasn't poverty that had taken their joy. In fact, the village was thriving. New roads had been built, homes improved, and the marketplace bustled with trade. People owned more than ever, but with each new possession came a quiet emptiness, a longing for something they couldn't name. Some blamed the silence on time. Others said it was just the way the world worked. But a little girl named Mira, of 7 with wild hair and wondering eyes, wasn't ready to accept that. "Why don't people smile anymore?" she asked her grandfather, Tom, one crisp morning as they sat by the well in the village square. He scratched his beard. Maybe they've forgotten how. Mira looked around. Women passed by the baskets full of bread and cheese. Men discussed prices and trade. Children clutched wooden toys but didn't play with them. Everyone looked busy, but no one looked happy. "Then maybe we should remind them," Mira said. That evening, she started small. With a piece of charcoal and an old cloth, she drew a crooked face, silly mustache, and taped it to her door. The next morning, several villagers stopped, chuckling quietly. "Who did this?" asked the baker, but Mira only smiled. The next day, she handed out stones painted with goofy faces to passing villagers. She had them in window boxes, baskets, even atop fence posts. Children found them and giggled. Adults tried not to, but some couldn't help it. By the end of the week, Mira had made a game of it. Every morning, new silly stones appeared around the village. People started searching for them on their way to work, laughing when they found them in unexpected places, like the mayor's hat or under the butcher's bench. It was Tom who had the next idea. "Let's give thanks before meals again," he said one evening, "not just for food, but for the day." He taught Mira a simple rhyme. "Thanks for the sky so wide and blue. Thanks for the earth and morning dew. Thanks for laughter and time to play. Thanks for another beautiful day." Mira recited it at breakfast, then at lunch. Soon other children joined her. Within a week, the rhyme was echoing through homes and alleyways, recited with giggles and hand claps. People began to slow down. They noticed the golden light of the morning sun, the chirping of the birds, the sweetness of ripe pears on the trees. They began to greet one another again, not with nods, but with warmth. One afternoon, the village square, once so quiet, erupted in a spontaneous game. Some had tossed soft apple, then another caught it with a shout. Children ran between adults, laughing, and as others joined in, old men danced clumsily. Young mothers forgot their errands and clapped along. From her window, the elder smiled. The joy wasn't loud at first, but it was real. People began sharing not only food, but stories of silly things they had done, of small wonders they overlooked. The carpenter told of a crooked chair that turned out to be one of the most comfortable seats in the village. The seamstress showed off a dress made entirely from leftover scraps. "The ugliest dress that made my daughter laugh so hard she snorted." One evening, a festival was proposed, not for harvest or trade or tradition, just a celebration of joy. Candles were lit in the trees, music played from handmade flutes, and the villagers danced barefoot on the grass. Mira stood in the center, grinning so wide it hurt her cheek. When asked what the festival should be called, she shrugged. "Call it the Day of Laughter." The name stuck. From then on, once a year, Elowen celebrated joy. But it wasn't just on that day the laughter returned. It stayed, because the people of the village had learned a lesson. Happiness doesn't come from more things. It comes from gratitude. It's in noticing the color of a sunrise, the warmth of a hand, the kindness of a stranger. It's in silly drawings on doors and silly stones tucked in pockets. It's in remembering that life, even when imperfect, is still beautiful. And it's in laughter, not the kind that fades after a joke, but the kind that echoes from a place of contentment. Mia grew older but never stopped hiding silly stones. Dhom passed on, but his rhyme was carved into a stone near the well. Thanks for laughter and time to play. Thanks for another beautiful day. And the village of Elowen, once silent, remained a place where laughter lived, not because everything was perfect, but because the people had remembered to be grateful for what they had. So, the moral of the story is that true happiness doesn't come from what we own, it grows from gratitude. And sometimes rediscovering joy is as simple as a silly stone and a smile. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. Share it with your friends or anyone who loves meaningful tales. Stories are better when they're shared. And for more stories like this, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new upload. We'd also love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let us know what part of the story spoke to you the most. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one with another twist, another tale, and another truth. Bye bye, see you very soon.